Hey guys, it's Adam with Unleashed Wargaming. Got another book review on the Glottkin Part 2 of the End Times. The first one that I did on Nagash, I loved it. I thought it was a great book from beginning. I'll say beginning to end. In my opinion, the end was a little drawn out. This isn't really that much of a spoiler. Vampire Counts versus Tomb Kings. You can only read the paragraph, they split skulls, shattered rib cages, and walked on bones instead of the earth. You can only read that so many times before you start to wonder if they hit copy-paste between each battle. But that's not a very big complaint. It was, a long war at the end. It was really good, though. Glottkin, on the other hand, I did not enjoy very much. It's all Nurgle. I'm not going to give any spoilers. I don't do that. I'm not going to tell the book, what happened, who died, any of that stuff. But I was a little disappointed with most of it. It's all chaos. It's all Nurgle. Where the first book jumped from all the different races. It started with all of the races. Just went through each one, telling what state they were in, where they were, what was going on at the time, what hardships they were facing because of the end times. Glottkin really zeroed in on Nurgle and Empire, and really that was it. Nothing else. And if they do that, if they continue to do that, we're going to have about 13 or 14 of these books before we're done. Surely that's not going to be the case. But this thing, being Nurgle, I really got tired of reading about disease, plague, your skin dripping off your arms and your bones showing and muscles rotting and your eyeballs popping, and every time the good guy starts to win, well, all of a sudden they all start vomiting maggots and their insides come out their nose, and it was just that was about 80% of the book was describing how people's insides burst out and the most gruesome things they could write. And I'll say this, in the first book, with all the undead stuff, the Vampire Counts, they overdid it. They made them a little too powerful to match the game, which is, always the fluff is too powerful. But you end up with, every time someone's slain, whether they're fighting dwarves, every time a dwarf is slain, well, that body gets up and starts fighting. If they're fighting the Empire, for every Empire that gets slain, every soldier that dies, well, he automatically gets up and starts fighting for the Vampire Counts. And it's it's a little overdone, because if that were the case, no one could stand up to the Vampire Counts. Because if their guys die, well, they just get right back up and keep fighting, because they're undead and the vampires are raising them up. So if it were like that in the game, you couldn't do it. And the same thing here with Nurgle. Even worse, everything they do, well, plague just wiped them all out. They don't have to fight. They don't have to be the better warriors. They don't have to have strategy. It's just move up, and if you hit them, they die. If they hit you, maybe you kill somebody, but then you're sick and you die and your skin falls off and you vomit maggots, and it's just a little too much. I'll say that I haven't really gotten so much into the rules. I will say one thing that's big that I do like, and I do have another prediction for 9th edition, something I'd really like to see, and I'm probably going to start doing anyway, running locally. But I did not enjoy most of the battles in this. I thought it was a whole lot of pulling things out of thin air, making things work when really there was no reason for it to work, and Nurgle just, oh, by the way, look what I have in my back pocket, and they pull out this new trick and it works perfectly and they win the day. But the end battle was good. I enjoyed the end. It was a long battle. But the ending, a friend of mine and I, we joke about it a lot with these books. The ending, it seems like they were writing, really doing a good job, getting really good into it. And all of a sudden the publisher walked in and says, "Hey, I need it." And he says, "All right." And he finishes it up and hands it to him, because it's going really good. Everything's moving along, good action, good story. And then, You turn the page and it's so-and-so saves the day, this happens, everything's set normal, and the end. So I would give this book more like a 5 out of 10. Nagash, I was looking more like an 8 or a 9. I loved it. This one, I did not enjoy it. I only finished reading it because I know there's going to be more. If it had been a novel, I wouldn't have even finished it. So the fluff in this one isn't very good. On to the rules side of it. It looks like they have now put Warriors of Chaos, Beastmen, and Daemons back into the same army. I like that. As I understand it, maybe I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, Beastmen can now have marks, like Mark of Nurgle, Mark of Khorne. That is very nasty for them. That's gonna. I like Beastmen. I think, of course they're outdated, but this is really going to give them a boost that army needs. I like the idea of the combined armies. That's how it used to be, and they separated it, and I like that too. I like Beastmen independent. The Warriors of Chaos and Demons go together. I like Beastmen independent as their own army, but believe it or not, they didn't call and ask me, so whatever. But I like that change, and here's my prediction, and I don't know if this is really a prediction or a wish list. I think Warhammer is going to move into an allied game where all this stuff going on now, like, I guess this is a spoiler alert, but it's not really a big spoiler alert. They put it in the White Dwarf. I can't believe how much information they gave away in White Dwarf when they're selling these books with, supposed to be surprises and all, and they're telling you what happens. But you see the Karsteins and the Vampire Counts fighting alongside the Empire. You see Tomb Kings and Vampire Counts fighting together. Of course, the Demons and Beastmen join Warriors of Chaos. I think this is really... Oh, and Bretonnia riding in to help all the good guys. I think this is really going to turn into a... nobody has a strong army anymore. There are no big, massive armies of Bretonnia Knights left. They've all been whittled down. Half the empire has been destroyed. They don't have these huge armies to go out and fight. We haven't seen what happens with High Elves and all that yet, but I think what they're doing is they're working this out to be where if you want to, you can take, let's say, a High Elf army and include some Bretonnia Knights and a couple of Empire War Machines. I think that's really what they're going for. They may limit it to 2 armies, I don't know. But I think they're making this where you can mix and match, not just armies from the same army book, but making the Allied really important, where you can mix and match the armies, use the different strong points. Immediately somebody was, Chaos is going to overrun everything and all this stuff, but you think, there's going to be some cheese out there. You're going to see a dwarf gun line with all their wonderful war machines, and on either side you're going to have lances of Bretonnian Knights. You're going to see all this stuff coming, but the possibilities are endless. There are so many different combinations where you can find some and say, oh, this will be unbeatable, but the person playing that army is going to be able to turn right around and point out, well, you could do this and you could do that. But it's going to open it up to where you have a reason. You don't have to go buy an entire army to play. Like if you like the Bretonnians, or if you like some High Elves, or like I'm building Dark Elves now, I don't have to go buy the entire army to play them. If I want to, I can use my Ogres, or vice versa, I could use my Dark Elves and just put a unit of Ogres in there. Maybe they're hired, or maybe they just have a common cause and they're fighting together. And you can just build your core and include some ogres in your army. You don't have to go spend $500 to $800 to buy some ogres. So I'll see some good and some bad, but I really think that's where they're going, is mainly allies for 9th edition. Anyway, again, that's a wish list and a prediction. I think it'd be a lot of fun. You're going to have your people who abuse it and try and ruin it, but that's everything Games Workshop does. You have somebody ruin it, and then everybody starts pointing fingers at Games Workshop saying they messed up. But as far as the book review goes, Glottkin, if you're just trying to follow the fluff, go for it, pick it up, and hopefully you'll enjoy it more than I did. I'm not a big Chaos fan, but it was just too much. Just too much chaos and nurgle and rot and plague and disease and maggots and vomit and spit and people pulling their intestines out and squirting them like a hose at people and burning their eyeballs out. And it just, a little too much of that stuff for me. But yeah, I'd say 5 out of 10, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I think it's supposed to be out sometime around Christmas. If you have more information than I do on that, let me know, please, because I will be getting it. And I'll keep you posted on that or any other rules that come up. And let me know. Comment below and tell me things I'm missing or things you've heard that maybe I haven't. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.